This 26 Sports and CCTV high school football presentation is brought to you by Wolverine Power Cooperative and Great Lakes Energy. Your local electric cooperative is looking out for you. And by Munson Healthcare Cadillac Rehab Services.
Right there, a look at the McBain Ramblers cheerleaders here at McBain High School in the 26 Sports and CCTV Michigan High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Derek Tate alongside Dan Gussert. We've got ourselves a battle in the Highland Conference as we head to the fourth quarter with the Pine River Bucks trailing the McBain Ramblers 20-18. We pick up action 3rd and 16 from the 21-yard line. Rogan Nelson working out of the pistol.
Nice job by McBain right there as Rogan tried to get that draw on draw that defensive line off. We got 2 flags on this one though, Derek.
Yeah, we do. We had Rogan Nelson run for a gain of 10, but there is a ton of yellow laundry back around the 20-yard line, and that's going to be holding on Pine River. So an interesting decision here. I think you do back them up and try to play the field position game.
I think you do too. We'll see what Coach Martin decides. He's a lot more better at making a call when you or I are on this. And they actually do decline it. They're going to force Pine River into a long, is it 4th and long then?
It would be somewhere around 4th and 6, depending on where they mark it. They declined it, which I thought the carry went all the way down to around the 30-yard line. But nonetheless, they'll give them 5, and it's going to bring up 4th and 16.
Rupert back to punt for Pine River, and I can't see who's back for McBain. Can you, Derek?
That's Gavin Seelan. That's a high snap over the head of Rupert. Rupert is going to fall on it, and that's going to be a safety. So he decides to take the safe route instead of trying to fumble with it and potentially lead to the Ramblers scoring a touchdown, but it will cost Pine River 2 points as the safety now gives McBain the lead 22-18.
You know, when you look at that, if he picks that up and is able to kick it, I don't know where it's going to go. You know, not far out of there. If he tries to run out of there, he's only going to get to the 4 or 5 yard line. It'll be turnover on downs. That's probably the best choice he could make back there.
It was kind of a lose-lose scenario, whether you try to pick it up and kick it or whether you try to just fall on it and secede the 2 points. Regardless, it is 2 points for the McBain Ramblers. They get a safety, and now they have a 4-point advantage. It's still a 1-score game, so not a complete disaster for Pine River, but it is going to be the Ramblers that are likely going to get some quality field position with their first possession of the fourth quarter. And if you were just now joining us here on 26 Sports and CCTV, let's catch you up on some of the action. We've had Brown, George Brown III, the senior quarterback for McBain's, had himself a night. 2 passing touchdowns, 1 on the ground, had another 2-point conversion, good from Brown to Rodenbaugh. We've also had the quarterback, Rogan Nelson, on the other side for the Bucks. 2 rushing touchdowns. Brock Nelson's also scored a 60-yard touchdown on the ground. And now following the safety for McBain, we're at 22-18. And there's Aguilar kicking off, and it's going to be right around the 35-yard line. It's Austin Ealing who couldn't reel it in, and he just decides to almost kneel on it right around the 30. So not what you like. You would have liked to have maybe gotten a return of 10 yards to put him at around the 40-45, but they get possession and 2 points.
And you know what?
They'll take it.
They'll take it.
So right here, though, for the Bucks defense.
You know, McBain, Pine River started their first possession, moved the ball on a great drive, ended up kicking it into the end zone. Handful of plays later, McBain with a quick strike offense. And then Pine River goes nowhere. We'll see what McBain's got right now on this possession here. This is a big one in this fourth quarter.
It's going to be George Brown III who's thinking about throwing. He slips a tackle in the backfield, and he's going to have the first down and more. Puts his shoulder down and gets a little bit of yards after contact past the 40-yard line. Gain of 11.
He was able to shake that tackle of Brock Nelson in the backfield right there, and after that, there was nobody for a good 8 yards.
Oftentimes, that's the difference between a 2-yard loss and a 10-yard gain. The senior quarterback, who's got 1 on the ground, 3 total touchdowns in this one. He missed some time earlier in the season, and that was part of the reason why McBain got off to a 1-2 start. But it's going to be 1st and 10, and here's Dottie back in. That gives dropped in the backfield. Number 26, Ryan Fobble, drops him for a loss.
Fobble, a senior right there. Going to bring McBain to a 2nd and 12. Nice tackle again.
You're going to wonder maybe if there's some sort of reason why Deacon Dottie is getting some reps. Maybe Brown is dealing with some sort of ailment. We don't have any confirmation on that, but Brown going to be working back under center on 2nd and 11 from the 39-yard line. They need to get past midfield to move the sticks. Trips to his left. Brown, quarterback sweep. And Brown's going to cut it upfield. Brown's got the first down, and he's got a lot more. See you later. Touchdown, Ramblers.
Another 60-yard TD run in the ball game here tonight, this time by McBain.
The 2nd rushing touchdown of the night for George Brown III, and this one gives the Ramblers a 10-point lead. Not often you see two 60-yard scampers on the ground for 6 in one night, much less by opposing teams. George Brown III, 4 total touchdowns, leading this McBain offense, and as has been par for the course the entire night, they are going to go ahead and go for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, maybe they're giving George, a little breather on the sideline, shuffling in. I can't think of the other quarterback for McBain here as we watch him just get in.
And look at the senior. He takes care of business himself. George Brown III has given McBain a 12-point advantage with 10:39 remaining in this contest as McBain leads Pine River 30-18. We got to go ahead and, of course, take the time to thank our fantastic sponsors helping out and providing us the ability to be able to go ahead and bring you this contest. As the contest for tonight is brought to you by Munson Healthcare, Cadillac Hospital, Wolverine Power Cooperative, and Great Lakes Energy, Fox Motors of Cadillac, your local Ford and Toyota dealerships, LC Materials, the concrete experts, Doug Glass of Cadillac for all your home and auto glass needs, Builder's First Source in Cadillac, your first source for flooring. Stop by and see them today. And you mentioned Tasty Treat. I've never been there. Why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Tasty Treat's a little gem of an ice cream shop in Lake City. It's kind of a thing to bring your kids there when they're young to see how old they are when they can finally eat their extra large cones.
They show their true colors when they're digging into ice cream.
Well, I remember my son Joe, the first time he was able to eat the whole thing, all he did was complain for the next hour because his tummy hurt. It was kind of fun. But yeah, they're a great place, and you can always see a long line out the door of that place.
Bonico is going to kick this one, and Rupert's going to let that one trickle out of bounds. It's going to be an illegal procedure. So that'll give Pine River the ball with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line as they've got their work cut out for them. They are down 12 points, 2 scores with 10:39 remaining in this one.
Maybe you mentioned a little bit of the quarterback shuffle going on with McBain throughout the game here. And, George Brown's a big boy. And, you get him out the field, get him a few extra rests here and there, and then, boy, I tell you what, 60 yards later, you can see why that pays off.
George Brown III taking over here in the second half. A touchdown pass, a 43-yard strike to Gavin Sealand, and a 60-yard touchdown run, and the Bucks have their work cut out for him. Nelson gives to Brock Nelson straight ahead, and he's brought down by number 18, Kagan Ackland.
Look like also for McBain, number 64, which is Jesse Sikkema on that tackle. Nice job right there. McBain's content, I think, right now to give Pine River 2, 3, 4 yards at a crack. Use a little bit of that clock up as we see number 68 jogging on for McBain right there, Caleb Outman.
A couple big bodies that you can rotate here if you're head coach Pat Maloney. Nice to have those extra options, especially here late in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 8 for the Bucks. And that's Fobble on the carry, the jet sweep around the right side. And a hard hit met on the edge there by Dan Rodenbaugh. He gets past the 40-yard line. That will pick up 5 yards. They'll bring up 3rd and a short 3 for this Bucks offense.
You know, and McBain, the coaching staff, has done a really nice job shuffling in some of the offensive linemen, defensive linemen, players that are going both ways, giving them a break here and there. It's a long night. And you can see that they're still fresh. They're ready to play as the game's starting to wind down here.
And it's going to be Brock Nelson who gets the call, and he's going to move the chains for Pine River all the way to the 47-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5 and a big conversion to keep Pine River's offense on the field with another set of downs.
Sometimes when you're facing a team like McBain and the size they have, it ends up being a war of attrition, if you will. And when you've got 15 players on the sideline like McBain does, that's a great luxury. And Coach Maloney and his staff's doing a real nice job getting kids in.
Here's 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Nelson gives to Brock Nelson, and he's into Ramblers territory and still fighting his way forward. A lot of tough running tonight from Brock Nelson. He's brought down just shy of the sticks. In fact, they may, depends on the spot, they may move the chains, but it's going to be 2nd and short.
Tough running again. We've said that a lot tonight watching Brock Nelson run.
Both Nelsons have scored on the ground. Rogan scored twice. Brock scored once on a 60-yarder. That's a gain of 9. 2nd and 1, 8:14 remaining in this one. Bucks trail by 12.
We've got a whistle on this here, Derek. Timeout McBain.
Timeout McBain, which gives us an opportunity to continue to talk about our sponsors, crew,
all righty,
and all that in between.
You want to finish those up, or would you like me to do that for you?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'll jump
all
on
right.
it. We picked up on Tasty Treat. Best Demolition, your local home wrecker. They can wreck anything you need. Pancho Villa Mexican Grill in Lake City, featuring Monday specials like 5 beef or chicken enchiladas for only $5. Lake City Family Pharmacy and McBain Family Pharmacy for all of your prescription and vaccination needs. Bowman and Rogers in Lake City, your local accounting team. McBain Building Products, your local hometown lumber yard for over 30 years with hundreds of collective years of staff experience. McBain Building would love to help you with your next project. Ron D's Tavern and Grocery with full service delivery and a daily happy hour from 4 to 7. Travelers Bar and Grill at 4699 Mackinac Trail in Leroy. Cadillac Tire Center, your hometown tire dealer. And, of course, my pregame meal is no longer consisting of grilled chicken or anything of that nature. It's Pizza Plus, Cadillac's local source for pizza and sandwiches for over 50 years. Thank you so much for sponsoring our games of the week here on 26 Sports and CCTV. 2nd and 1 for the Bucks, and they're going to go to the air. This one and to Lane Rupert, and they're broken up. A lot of contact, but Caden
a lot of
McGillis.
contact early in that one, for sure. Well, missed call right there, and that's going to happen. That's going to happen. There's nothing wrong with that.
Caden McGillis
Part of the game.
It's a bang-bang play. Tried to break on that one as soon as the ball hit him in the 9 was Caden McGillis, and he got there a little bit early, but referee does not agree with my assessment of it. So we've got 3rd and 1 with just over 8 minutes remaining.
It's a lot of time for Pine River. They need to get this possession, get it down into the end zone, and give themselves a little bit of time after that for a second score.
And it's going to be Nelson. He's going nowhere, and he's going in the wrong direction. Dropped in the backfield by Trevor Bodie.
And the little snap was off on that one. I don't know if it was a little low or if he just dropped it. I think maybe it was a little bit low. And they lose a couple of yards. That's going to make 4th down a lot longer here.
And we know it's 4-down territory right now for Pine River. Let's see what head coach Terry Martin dials up for his sophomore quarterback. They got to have this.
You got to watch his snap count right here. McBain doesn't want to jump off offsides. Pine River's been able to get him a couple of times on that. I would expect to see him try it right here.
And here's 4th and 4. Brock Nelson gets the call. Ball's on the floor, and it's George Brown III. Who else? No, that's Dan Rodenbaugh. My apologies. Rodenbaugh falls on it for the Ramblers, and that's a turnover that's going to be tough to overcome for Pine River.
Is that second one of the ball game for Pine River? I believe just their second turnover. Both of them hurt. First one kind of set the tone in the first quarter, put them on their heels that whole quarter. And this one down by 10 points here in the 12 points here in the third quarter or fourth quarter. Make it tough for the Bucks.
A little bit of everything tonight for Dan Rodenbaugh. And now it's McBain trying to chew up the clock. Dottie under center. And here's the give. Didn't catch who exactly got the carry. I believe it's Gavin Sealand. And he's going to be dropped at the 40-yard line for a loss of 1. Really, for the Bucks, they want to keep the competitive aspect of this game going. They got to get a stop, and they got to get it quick.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a mishandle in the backfield right there. Fortunate for McBain, it did not turn into a fumble. Really good job by Sealand to maintain control as something wasn't quite right there on the handoff.
And we've seen Deacon Dottie come in and do an admirable job whenever he has gotten his number called. Under center.
And you never know on those exchanges if it's the back off on their angle, if it's a quarterback a little bit low with it. Could be anything.
2nd and 11. Out of the T formation, and the give goes to the fullback. And he plunges his way down to the 46-yard line. I believe that's Rodenbaugh who got the carry. And that's going to be a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 4, and I'm not going to say that this is, excuse me, not 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6, my apologies. I'm not going to say that this is the game yet, but
it's a big point.
Big 3rd down here for the Pine River defense. And it's going to be Deacon Dottie, as we just now got inside of the 6-minute mark. Staying in that T formation. Rodenbaugh straight ahead.
He's going to be a good yard short. We'll see. I have a feeling here from midfield you might see McBain go for it. In that punting scenario that they've been doing with George Brown back there, you never know.
And it was Brock Nelson on the stop who is going to force this 4th and 1 at midfield. It's going to be interesting to see if head coach Maloney decides to go ahead and punt this one away or let George Brown try to put it away. 4th and 1.
He does step back to punt.
And they're going to play it safe, and there's no one home to receive for the Bucks recovery unit, and it's going to be down by number 16, Josh Hart. And that will be where the Bucks, who force a 3-and-out, have 5 minutes and 7 seconds remaining to try to come up with 12 points.
If I were to say there was a turning point in the ball game here tonight, it was early here in the third quarter, after Pine River had put together a real strong drive all the way down the field, put it in the end zone, and that quick strike, a couple of plays later, touchdown by McBain, just kind of turned the tide here, Derek.
Took the momentum right back, which is ever so important in high school football. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. It's Nelson. He's going to go to the air deep down the middle. And Rupert almost able to haul it in. Broken up. Looks like Caden McGillis, who's been all over Rupert tonight, breaks that one up.
Lane gets up a little gimpy right there. Looked like he landed a little bit funny.
We have not seen many other targets for other pass-catching options. Again, it's hard to mention that Marcus Jurek, the senior wide receiver, the leading receiver for this Bucks offense heading into the night, is not available. And in a passing situation, you could certainly use his services right here.
Absolutely, and it does allow McBain to key a lot more on Lane Rupert and not spread their defensive talent out as much.
2nd and 10 from the 14-yard line. Nelson working out of the shotgun. And there's Fauble on the jet sweeper on the left side. Fauble able to weave his way through traffic. That's going to be a gain of 5. Clock will continue to run. 4:50 remaining and a 12-point deficit.
That right there maybe is one block away from being a long gainer right there.
That jet sweep, they've gone to fobble on a couple of occasions on that jet sweep. Like you said, sometimes it's just that one block, that one slip tackle that can change the game. Instead, we've got 3rd and 4 from the 20-yard line. Nelson in the pistol. And here's a reverse to Huffman. And Huffman breaks one tackle, but he's not going to avoid another. Gavin Seelan, the senior, busting that play up, and that's
what you want out of your senior right there.
Yep.
He doesn't leave his side of town. He's waiting. You know, a lot of times that play runs away from him. If he catches that motion and follows it, that's a big gain for Pine River, and great job by Gavin.
And this may be the last gasp for Pine River. 4th and 6 at the 18-yard line. 12-point deficit, 3:40 remaining. Nelson, gotta have it. Back to pass. Going deep down the field, and that one hauled in. Isaac McKinley, and a touchdown, saving tackle at the 34-yard line. But what a grab by Isaac McKinley, and there's life for the Bucks.
Was that 16 on that game, touchdown saving tackle over? Is that Josh Hart? I think that was, and that was a great catch. Great catch by Isaac McKinley.
Leaping grab by Isaac McKinley, the junior wide receiver. We saw one go through his hands earlier, and when they needed it, he hauled it in. 1st and 10 now at the 33-yard line. 3:16 remaining, and now a timeout from head coach Pat Maloney of the Ramblers.
That's a great timeout from Coach Maloney right there. Give his team a little chance to catch some breath right there. You know, they're in control, and as long as they kind of keep Pine River in front of them and don't give up a play like that last one and end up giving up one score, you know, they should be able to finish the game out strong. We'll probably see that onside kick from Pine River, and you never know what's going to happen on that, but Coach Maloney playing the percentages.
If you're a Ramblers faithful on the near side or at the bottom of your screen, more than likely, you got to be holding your breath when you saw that McKinley kicked that one in and was up the left sideline booking it. But luckily, Josh Hart with a touchdown saving tackle. But hey, it's nice out there for the players. Little chilly. Got to be wearing a couple jackets. Is our crew tonight. Hannah Crouch, our director. Cole Cedarburn on camera 1 and on camera 2. Damian Brooks, who's going to be turning 18 on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday, young man.
Happy birthday again, Damian.
Just give me a hard time. It says I have the easy job. I mean,
that's because we get to come in the booth on these cold nights.
It's very true. It was raining last week, and he was manning the camera when I was getting poured on. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. That's going to be Nelson crashing ahead. Brock Nelson going to be brought down just shy of the 30-yard line, and you got to think that the Bucks are going to be in hurry up. And it's going to be Rogan Nelson out of the pistol on 2nd and 7. Nelson back to pass. Firing deep down the middle and almost hauled in. Brian Fobble.
Yeah, McBain's safety back there fell just as the pass was coming in. And I think that surprised Fobble because I think he thought it was going to be a pick or he wasn't going to get a chance to get to that ball.
And Dan Rodenbaugh in the area in that secondary along with Gavin Seeland. The secondary's done a pretty good job tonight for the McBain Ramblers. But they've got an additional 2 minutes and 45 seconds to try to seal the deal here. 3rd and 7 from the 30-yard line. Nelson surveying the field. Lets it go. He's got his man, and that's McKinley caught, and he falls out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Another deep pass complete to Isaac McKinley.
That's that back shoulder throw. You start to see, he put that right where his receiver could get it. Looked like, I think that's Ealing back there that fell, trying to make that cut to wait for the ball.
Here's 1st and goal. 12-point deficit, but they can cut it in half right here. Give goes to Brock Nelson straight ahead. He's inside the 5-yard line, brought down at the 3. We're just now approaching the 2 minute and 30-second mark remaining. It's going to be 2nd and goal
I think we got a timeout here, Derek.
And we do have a timeout from head coach Terry Martin. That's the first for Pine River.
Hey, where are we going next week, Derek? What game does 26 Sports and CCTV bring everybody next week? Do you remember offhand? Because I don't. And I hope I didn't put you on the spot with that.
Well, offhand, I thought I
know.
Next week it's going to be Houghton Lake versus Lake City.
Okay, I know 2 weeks from now.
Thanks for testing my knowledge.
We get to see Pine River again. I think as Manton comes to Pine River for that game. And next week is Houghton Lake, Lake City.
It is correct. The Trojans.
And the Bobcats.
The one game that we've gotten to do for Lake City, it was against these McBain Ramblers, and that was a thriller. Unfortunately, McBain came out on the wrong side of it. But, I mean, I remember Coach Maloney went for 2. It was 14-13. They just scored in the fourth quarter. They go for 2 and convert to Gavin Sealand. Man, that was a thriller. And you see McBain trying to put this one away, but the Bucks making it interesting. They've got a second and goal at the 3. Rogan Nelson working out of the pistol. Nelson gives to Brock Nelson. Actually, he's going to keep it, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Bucks.
Broke a tackle in the backfield right there and finished off with a nice run, and that'll get it a little closer here and make things interesting here when teams get set up for this onside kick attempt.
Cuts the deficit in half. It's 30-24, and they are going to bring on Aguilar for the extra point. He's 0 for 1 on the night, but if he can knock this one in, any touchdown would give the Bucks the lead. A left-footed kicker, he's got a boot. Snap, it's down. Kick is up, and this one is good. So with 2:22 remaining in this one, it's not over yet. McBain still leads 30-25 over the Pine River Bucks. And now it's kind of decision time. You don't have to go for the onside. I believe it's still 2 timeouts remaining for Pine River. But if you're head coach Terry Martin, do you go to the onside here, Dan?
Boy, I tell you what. I think I probably would. I don't know if defensively you can stop McBain for one possession. George Brown III's had such a great game tonight. You know, I guess if I'm Coach Martin, I'm fearing a little bit of what he can do to you. And all they would need is 1 first down, probably.
1 first down would likely put this one away. They do have their hands unit out there. Does head coach Pat Maloney. The thing is, when it comes to playing the math and the odds on this, if you kick an onside kick, even if they recover, you can still get the ball back.
You can still stop them, yep.
Still stop them and do the same exact thing that you would do if you kicked it deep in the first place. But we'll see what they decide to go with. Aguilar.
You know, the rules of the onside kick are so different than what they used to be as far as.
And that is an onsider. And it took a little bit of a nice bounce, but it was recovered, and great job.
51 right there. Who is that? That's a great hands right there.
Derek Camphouse.
That's why he's up there.
Setting up camp right on top of the ball. He recovers it, but the Ramblers still got to put this one away. They have first and 10 at the 50.
They definitely need to pick up a first down. Pine River, you said, has 2 timeouts left. A lot can happen.
I mean, we saw that despite not a ton of damage done through the air in this one, Isaac McKinley has come up with a couple big plays. Here's first and 10, Dottie under center. Give goes to Rodenbaugh, and Rodenbaugh picks up a big chunk. That's going to be a gain of 6 brought down by Lane Rupert, and there's going to be a timeout from Pine River.
Yeah. You know what? First down 5, first down 6, it's really as long as you can keep them from getting that first down or getting them into position where it's 4th and really short, I think you're okay if you're Pine River. But this next play is going to be big. You
expect that the Ramblers are going to stay in that T formation. They're probably going to either give it to Rodenbaugh straight ahead or George Brown III or Gavin Seelan on one of those counter sweeps. Just can the Bucks defense, who has played well tonight against a bigger unit up front for McBain, can they come up with one more stop? We'll see. We've got a 2nd and 4.
Well, I hope the folks at home have enjoyed this game as much as you and I have. This has been a fantastic ball game here.
And it has, and we haven't seen its finish yet. Rodenbaugh straight ahead. Rodenbaugh, if he's touching the chalk on the 40-yard line, that might do it. And he's going to be right on the paint. And yep, that's a first down. And the McBain Ramblers, despite anything crazy happening, may be able to hold on for this one.
2 minutes ago, and boy, I tell you what, it is high school football, and crazy things do happen.
There's going to be a timeout by Pine River, and as we mentioned, for these two teams on the horizon next week, it's going to be Pine River taking on
Houghton Lake?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that we had Houghton Lake versus Lake City next week, but maybe we'll double check.
Yeah, we'll check that out.
We've got for the McBain Ramblers, it is Manton, who is yet to pick up their first win of this season, and they will be playing here in the Highland Conference. Now, again, both of these teams playing for that coveted 3rd win in the Highland Conference. Right now, there's a logjam in the Highland Conference at 2-2. Lake City, McBain, Everett, and Pine River. And right now, you mentioned that Lake City has a lead, correct?
Lake City was leading 20-0, I believe, last I saw. So they'll pick up that 3rd win. And if things pan out the way they're looking right now, McBain will have their 3rd win. And everybody's chasing Beale City up at the top.
And it is going to be
victory formation for McBain.
No better formation. Dottie takes a knee. It's going to be a loss of a yard, but they're going to run this clock out. An admirable effort from the Pine River Bucks, who trailed at 1 point, 14-0. Then they fell back down by 12 points, but they kept scrapping.
Yeah, they're only a play or two away from being victorious here tonight. Both teams played very hard-nosed football, just some tough stuff and terrific sportsmanship as we've seen all year long from the schools we've got to cover. It's just fun to watch high school football here in northern Michigan.
Another knee from Dottie to bring up 3rd down and probably the final snap here at McBain High School. It's been, like you said, this is the 50th matchup between these two teams, and there's high stakes for both of these squads. You saw the sportsmanship on both sides.
Absolutely.
Both teams fighting hard. And they've both got plenty of football left ahead of them in this 2019 football season as we have passed the halfway point and head down the home stretch. Both of these teams trying to make a push into the postseason. For Michigan high school football, and Dottie watching that clock. Going to take one more snap.
I just got word that the Vikings have come back for a victory. 23-20 tonight for Cadillac. I believe that's over Gaylord. Lake City has won. 20-0 was the last I saw on that, so I got to believe they ended up winning that game. And here tonight, McBain's going to come away with a big win.
And it looks like they're going to have to run one more play. It is going to be 4th down. So interestingly enough, as long as they can snap the ball and run out the duration of the clock, then we won't see any crazy last Hail Mary or anything of that nature. And it looks like Dottie is going to have to take a snap.
This is the one you just snap to him and you just run around.
And apparently a delay a game.
Yep.
Delay a game. They called a delay a game. They may have to put some time back
Yeah, they'll have
on
to put
clock.
time on the clock.
The whistle blew before the clock expired.
I think he's holding up 3 fingers if I can see that far.
If you can see
Maybe
that's
4?
3 seconds from all the way up here. You did. You nailed it, partner. 3 seconds. Eyes like a hawk.
So that'll at least make the snap interesting.
So 4 seconds, so close. I mean, you're just one finger off from about 50 yards away.
Yep.
But so there's going to be one more snap. They got to run out 4 full seconds. Otherwise, Pine River does get one snap.
Yep. You know what? If I'm McBain here, I'm not punting this. If I'm grabbing this snap, I'm just running backwards.
Yeah, run around for 4
seconds. Run around
seconds.
and then take a knee, and that's what they're going to do.
Dottie's running in the opposite direction.
Yep.
And that'll do it as he just falls to the ground, and the McBain Ramblers pick up their third win in the Highland Conference to improve to 3-3 in a thriller against the Pine River Bucks by a final score of 30-25 on this Michigan High School Football Game of the Week on 26 Sports and CCTV. We'll be right back with your post-game show in just a couple moments.